everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in to another Movies, Monsters, and Makeup movie review where I review 2 movies, and while I'm doing that, I'm doing my makeup. If you're new here, welcome, thank you. Please like and subscribe, and let's get started. So today I have 2 movies that I will be reviewing, and I'm very excited about these ones because I've watched them many times, and I'll probably say this about everyone, but it's one of my favorites. Well, they're both my favorites. And the first one that I'm going to be reviewing is very, I don't know, I don't want to say obscure, but it's part of the Full Moon Entertainment movies. So today I will be talking about the movie Castle Freak. Round of applause for that one. Yes, Castle Freak, the 1995 Stuart Gordon movie. I hope you guys are so excited because I'm very excited to be doing this one. I've been wanting to do it for a very long time, and now I'm finally doing it, and I'm very excited. So let's get started. As you know, I already prepped my skin, did my eyebrows. Hopefully they're not a complete mess. It's a hit or miss with my eyebrows. Always. Okay, so I'm going to be starting on my makeup. I think in later on videos, I'm going to do like a poll to see what kind of makeup you guys want me to do. Like maybe colors or kind of themes or whatever. So there is a family that inherits a 12th century castle which belonged to a duchess. The man who inherited this castle, his name is John Riley. He will be moving there with his wife Susan and his daughter Rebecca. Now, there was a little bit of tragedy that happened shortly before they moved into the mansion. Unfortunately, John was drunk driving and he got in an accident with his 2 kids. One of his children, his son, unfortunately didn't make it after the crash, and then his daughter got blinded by the accident. So the family relocates to Italy because that's of course where the castle is. When they get there, you start noticing there's tension between Susan and John. Why is that? Well, of course, Susan blames John for the death of their son and the blinding of their daughter. So when they arrive to Italy, they are really only there to kind of liquidate everything and try to sell the castle and sell everything in there to, you know, they don't want to live there. They just want to get everything in order to sell it. So that's why they're staying there. But what they don't know is that the Duchess had a secret child. Well, yeah, it's kind of like a secret child. Like, anyways, it's not a child anymore, but she did keep it locked up in the dungeon below the castle. Hence the name Castle Freak. Well, you won't know why he's a freak yet. You have to wait to find out what makes him a freak. So before the Duchess died, she kept him locked up and she would feed him every day. And what she fed him was some nasty molded bread. And I think it was like some water. And upon feeding him, she would like whip the shit out of him with this whip that has shrapnel strapped to it. Like pieces of metal and spikes and stuff like that. So she would beat poor Castle Freak while she's feeding him. She was very old, and one day after beating poor Castle Freak, she ended up dying. Now, what's really sad is nobody knew that Castle Freak was in that basement, so he slowly was starting to starve until a cat wandered into Castle Freak's little dungeon area, and unfortunately, he was very hungry, and he ends up eating the cat. I know, so sad. Rest in peace, kitty kitty. Castle Freak understands that like he's going to die if he doesn't get out, so he ends up breaking one of his fingers off to escape the chains that he was bounded by staying in the dungeon. Once he escaped, you see that he is all disfigured and nasty, and he covers himself up with a sheet, and he starts roaming around the castle. There's parts where the daughter, who is blind, can hear like somebody in the room but can't see anything. You see Castle Freak there, and you're thinking, oh shit, is he gonna like attack her or kill her? But no, no, he doesn't. But, you know, the young girl's telling her parents, like, no, there's somebody in here. But of course they don't believe her because she's blind and they don't see anybody. So the father kind of believes her, but the mother doesn't. And that kind of, you know, just adds more rift between the husband and wife. And the husband, John, he's guilt stricken. Like he knows he messed up. He mourns his son. He knows it's his fault. And, you know, he's a recovering alcoholic. He swore he would not drink no more because he was drunk when he caused that accident. So with everything going on with him and his wife, he just needs to get the fuck out of that castle and go, you know, go find somewhere to hang out, relax, take his mind off of everything that's going on. So where does that leave poor John? That leaves poor John ending up going to a bar. A bar. After he promised his wife he won't drink no more, he ends up at a freaking bar. Well, how's that sobriety going? John, after you murdered your son, pretty much. Good one. Good one, buddy. At the bar, he meets a woman. Oh, he meets a woman. What kind of woman do you say? What do you think? A woman in a bar hating on this middle-aged man who's not very good looking. What kind of woman do you think she is? Yes, she is a prostitute. She is an Italian prostitute who, you know, ends up drinking, getting buddy with John. John decides, oh, this is smart. Let's continue this back into my castle. Yes. So John ends up taking the prostitute back to his castle, where they go into like the basement area and decide to drink some aging wines. While doing that, they end up getting a little frisky from the alcohol. Yeah, John cheats on his wife and does some sexual favors to the prostitute. And what's funny is after he's done banging her, he doesn't realize that she was a prostitute. Like, and he's shocked to know that, shoot, I have to pay her. So after John pays her, he basically tries to tell her, like, okay, it's time for you to leave. And he goes back upstairs. While the lady of the night is trying to leave, she runs into Castle Freak. Now, Castle Freak, he ends up chaining her up. Well, what I didn't say earlier was while they were getting busy, Castle Freak was watching. Yeah. He was watching like a sick pervert and decided when John left that he's going to go and do the same thing to that prostitute. Because, you know, you got to think he's been locked up his whole life. He doesn't know, you know, he just wants, he's a guy and he wants to try to see if he could get on some action too. But since he doesn't know anything and he's this hideous human creature, you know, monster, there's some pretty gruesome parts that this poor lady of the night has to endure from Castle Freak, and he does end up killing her. Yeah, she ends up dying. The next morning, a police officer comes to the castle to investigate a missing person, which is the prostitute. She didn't come home. She has a young child at home, and they are trying to find her. And a lot of people at the bar told the police officer that she went home with that man, John, who just got the castle. So the wife is just sick of, you know, she finds out that her husband brought home a prostitute, and she's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm taking our daughter. We're getting the fuck out of here. You know, fuck you. Which is totally understandable because, you know, he just cheated on her. Can't blame her for that. Well, John is kind of like browsing the castle and looking for that missing girl. He comes upon like a, kind of like a, what do you call, a mausoleum? You know what I mean. And he noticed that there was a little boy that died, and he finds out that that little boy who died didn't really die. And that little boy who died, but there was no body in his casket, turns out that is his half brother. That's right, yes. That is his half brother from his father. They both have the same fathers. And I guess with the Duchess, the one that owned the castle, was with the boy's fathers, but he left the Duchess to go back to the United States to be with his other, you know, with John and his mom. So that's why she tortured poor Castle Freak, because the father left and abandoned them, and that was kind of like their love child, and she just hated him for that. And she took it out on the poor boy and turned him into a Castle Freak. So the police decide to kind of like arrest John because they think like he has something to do with the poor prostitute being missing and stuff. And John's trying to tell him that no, there's somebody in our castle and it's stalking my daughter and my wife. Like, I can't leave. I need to protect my family. So eventually, you know, so it's just Susan and her daughter in the castle all alone. And what happens? Well, Castle Freak decides to abduct the daughter, which is technically his niece. And he chains her up because, you know, he's a sick pervert. He wants to do more nasty things to girl. Bad Castle Freak, you disgusting pig. And the mother is like, oh shit, there really was somebody in here. John was telling the truth. My daughter was telling the truth. I need to go rescue my daughter. So she finds her daughter and she decides to seduce Castle Freak. So it ends up working and she rescues her daughter. Meanwhile, John was at the police station. He somehow escapes and makes it back to the castle to take on Castle Freak. While he's doing that, you soon learn that poor Castle Freak is castrated. He is a castrated man. Unfortunately, his mother did that to him, which is sad. And I won't spoil the ending, but it is a sad ending. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it with Castle Freak. It's a really great movie. It's more of like a B movie, but it's totally worth it. I recommend it. I'm totally giving it 5 out of 5 skulls because I fucking love this movie. So be sure to check it out. If you do, leave a comment below. But other than that, I am going to start on movie number 2. Okay. Let's get started with movie number 2. So movie number 2 is going to be 1977 version of Suspiria. Have you guys ever watched that one? I know there was a remake a couple of years ago, which was okay. It was different. It was like a different take on it, which I didn't hate. And I usually hate all remakes, but this one wasn't too bad. I wasn't too crazy about it at first, and then I watched it again and I was like, you know what? I like this. This is a good movie. But I would not be talking about the remake. I am just strictly talking about the original, which is a Dario Argento movie. Remember, with demons, he was affiliated with that movie, but this one is a Dario Argento movie, and I believe it is part of the Giallo series, a Giallo genre. So this one starts with an American ballet student who got accepted to this prestige ballet academy in Germany. The American student's name is Susie Banyan. And when she arrives at the ballet academy, it's really dark and stormy night out. When she gets there and she's trying to get inside, there's a student named Pat that is seen fleeing the school and yelling out something that you can't really understand what she's saying because there's like a lot of music and the sound of rain. It's very loud, but you can hear her shouting something. As she leaves, the door slams and locks, and Susie is trying to get inside. Unfortunately, Susie is not granted access to inside, so she has to go stay at like a hotel nearby. The girl who ran away from the school, Pat, she ends up at one of her friend's apartments saying how like something bad happened at the school that she saw and she wasn't supposed to see, and that somebody is after her. Later on, you know, as Pat is trying to calm down, she ends up being attacked and killed, which is really great. I love it. I love the special effects that they use. I love the makeup. I just love back in the day where they actually used makeup, used camera angles, used colors, used noises, not just CGI. Like, CGI. Ugh. All these movies today are nothing but CGI, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer. So Pat was killed. Her friend also, unfortunately, was killed. I don't really want to say how they were killed because I don't want to give it away. I don't want to take away the scare factor for some people, but they were killed. I'll say that. So Susie returns to school the next... Oh, shoot. I forgot to conceal. Hang on. So Susie returns to school the next day. While at the school, she meets Mrs. Tanner, who is the head instructor of the school. She also meets Madame Blanc, the deputy and headmistress. And she also meets some of the servants that work at the school, and they bring her into like the changing room area to meet the other girls and guys who attend the ballet school. Two of her classmates, one's named Sarah, the other one's named Olga. Olga turns into her new roommate. They don't really hit it off at first. Olga's kind of a bitch, but I mean, who isn't these days? Am I right? So Susie is having a hard time adjusting to school. She's in a new country. Something weird that happens is as she starts, practicing her ballet, she starts getting really dizzy and kind of sick and just not feeling herself, and to the point where she actually passes out. And she says that is not common for her. She doesn't know what's going on. As soon as she got to the school, she hasn't been feeling herself. Like something's not right with her. One of the times when Susie passes out, she reawakens, and she's surrounded by a doctor and the headmistress and the teachers, and they inform her that Olga kicked her out of the apartment, and so now Susie has to stay at the school. But it's okay because they didn't really get along, and now Susie's new next door neighbor is her friend Sarah. Sarah, what a great name. One night when the students are kind of like getting ready to go downstairs for dinner, something really weird and gross happens. Maggots start falling from the roof. Yeah, maggots, nasty. One girl's brushing her hair and she's like feeling something, and it's like all these maggots are just fucking all over the ceiling, and they're just like falling everywhere. You hear everybody losing their shit. I know I would lose my shit. I'd be like, maggots. Oh, no maggot touching me. Okay, so the reason for the maggots is because I guess there was like some rotting meat in the attic, which is really strange and kind of random. Like, really? Rotting meat in the attic? Seems like a strange place to store it. So with the maggots, everybody has to sleep in one of the big dance studio rooms. But there's like this weird curtain that goes all around like the girls sleeping on cots. All they can really see is like silhouettes of people, behind the sheets, which supposedly are supposed to be the teachers. But I don't know. I think something more sinister comes to sleep with them. While they're sleeping, Sarah, she is woken up by like this nasty, hoarse sounding, breathing, snoring. And she's like really scared by it. It sounds really creepy. She wakes up Susie to see if she hears it too, what she does, and they're trying to figure out who can it be. It doesn't sound very human-like. Within time, there's a couple of weird things are going on. Susie's still feeling sick. There's been some unfortunate mishaps, some deaths. One night while Susie and Sarah are asleep, or it's bedtime, Sarah starts telling Susie that the night that Susie arrived, it was her, Sarah, that wouldn't let Susie in because her friend Pat was acting really weird. And Pat's the girl that left that night and ended up getting murdered. I guess Pat left Sarah some note about what was going on in the school or what she was like observing and stuff like that. So Sarah wanted Susie to see the notes and to see, what is really going on in the ballet school. But before she does that, she ends up getting attacked by something you can't see. She's running, she's trying to, run for her life, and I won't go into what happens because it's pretty awesome. But she doesn't make it, and it's pretty intense. The next morning after Sarah died, Susie is like, where's Sarah? I can't find her. What happened to her? She was going, to tell me about these notes, and now she's gone. So Susie decides to get a hold of one of Sarah's friends who is some kind of professor, and he tells her that the head director, who is Helena Marcos, is actually a witch, and that school is a witch coven. You know, of course, Susie is kind of skeptical, but, you know, there has been some weird shit going on. So maybe that is what it is. They're a bunch of fucking witches. I mean, who isn't these days? Sorry, I had to do my... Sorry, I had to do my lashes off camera because it's too hard to talk and do mascara. So, Susie returns back to school, and I guess everybody went to go see a ballet, so she was there all alone. Well, you know, she's all alone. She's thinking about a lot of things that Sarah told her, and, you know, she decides, you know, I need to go find her. I'm going to go look for my friend, you know, because she went missing and nobody has answers as to where she went. Susie ends up at Madame Blanc's office, which is one of the dance instructors. While she entered the office, she starts remembering what that girl Pat from the very beginning of the movie said. Remember how I said it was very hard to hear and like know what was said? Well, Susie actually ends up remembering what she said. Pat said secret and iris. Now, iris is a flower. And in Madame Blanc's office, there is a wall of like a mural. There's like a mural of flowers. And what do you know? There is an iris in that mural. So Susie goes to the iris and realizes that there is a secret passage door. So she, of course, goes inside the secret passage. Who wouldn't? Maybe her friend's hidden. Maybe she's been kidnapped. Maybe, you know, you don't know. You don't know. You have to find out. You need to. While Susie goes to that secret door, she sees that all the instructors and headmistresses are hidden behind that door. You know, she's not caught, but she can hear them talking about wanting to kill Susie to gain more power. So, yeah, they are witches, and, you know, they kill people, or they kill the dancers to gain more power. Susie's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. But, you know, she still kind of want to find her friend. But, you know, one of the servants ends up kind of, you know, hears something and goes to investigate. So Susie takes the fuck off. She takes off and she ends up finding her friend's dead body. So she's like, yeah, she's gone. I need to go. Susie ends up running into one of the rooms, and that room is Helena Marcos. Now, Helena Marcos is the queen bee witch. She is head of the coven, but she's very old and she was sleeping. You don't see her because she's hidden behind like a cloth around her bedroom, but you can hear her and she's pretty damn scary sounding. So while in the room, Susie accidentally wakes her up. Big no. When she does that, Helena Marcos, she ends up going invisible. Like, she's powerful, so she can make herself go invisible, so Susie doesn't see her and can't, like, you know, can't see her. So Helena Marcos is invisible, and wants to kill Susie to get more powers. And, you know, Susie found out about them all being witches. So what does she do? I'm not going to tell you, because if you haven't seen this movie, it's a spoiler, and I want you guys to be scared when you see it if you haven't seen it yet. And you know what? This has been labeled the scariest like 10 or 12 minutes ever in horror. So I don't want to spoil it. I'm not gonna say how it ends, but I really do recommend you guys, you know, give it a watch. It's a really great movie, and if you like to be scared or like something scary, this is definitely a scary movie to watch. I'm gonna throw on some lipstick and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So like I said, I didn't want to give away the ending. The ending is very terrifying. If you've never seen it, oh, you're gonna love it. Be sure to comment down below if you do check it out and let me know if it scared you, if it was cheesy. I mean, it's from 1977, but you know what? It can still give you the creeps. I know it still creeps me out a bit. Also, I really hope you guys enjoy the visual effects, the colors, the music. The music is by Goblin, and I think Dario Argento too. And the music with it, you just vibe in that movie. It's such a great movie. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it if you like it, and also really appreciate it if you share this video. I really want to grow my channel. I want to make more of these videos. I want more people to see these videos. So thank you for those who do share. Thank you for all my subscribers, and I will be seeing you guys again soon. Bye bye.